Today's Reddit post comes from the subreddit Am I the A-hole? And it's titled, Am I the a-hole for not allowing my ex and my former best friend to take my kids out of state for a week to heal? Interesting title. I have 2 children under 12 with my ex. We divorced 5 years ago after I found out he and my former best friend were having an affair. They both tried to apologize and ask for it to not ruin everything, but their actions had already ruined everything. I hate the 2 of them. I no longer care about how they're doing. But for my kids' sake, I remain civil. I have never badmouthed them to my kids. I have never told my kids what happened. I would never want my kids to be harmed more by their father's action than they already were. And the divorce was tough for them, and they had a hard time coming to terms with the changes. They still need therapy for some adjustment issues that have remained. My former best friend hasn't helped either by trying to continue on as best friend despite her actions. It also didn't help that their kids went from their parents living together to their dad living with mom's former friend. But again, my primary focus has been my children. I love my kids more than I hate those 2 repulsive individuals. I love my kids more than myself, which is why I work so hard to be civil in front of my kids. Because the last thing I wanted was to make nice with them. But my kids love their dad, and that has never changed. My ex and this woman are now married, and they try to have children together. In December, she had her 10th miscarriage and had to be rushed to the hospital and into surgery, which left her unable to get pregnant again. I got a call from my ex telling me all of this and asking me to bring the children to the hospital to stay until she was ready to leave. It was my parenting time, so I told him I would not bring them to sit and wait. He was very unsettled and told me to bring the kids by and he'll get them to ask me to let them stay. I told him that wasn't happening. He made no more contact after that, and he didn't take the kids for his parenting time either, or contact me about it. His mom reached out, and she told me he refused to leave the hospital. He didn't see them until his parenting time came around again, and she was released. There was a new tension in the air at that point. He was furious with me for keeping the kids from sitting visual in the hospital with him. Now, we have another dilemma that's become an issue. My ex booked a healing getaway for them, and they want the kids to go along. It happens during my week, and it's a school week. He also wants to take his weeks as normal before and after that. So he would have them for 3 consecutive weeks. From what he stated, he will potentially keep them out of school for that long so the kids can be there to help her recover and grieve knowing she has them, was how he explained it to me. I said no, and I explained that I was not letting him take them out of school for a week just for her. I told him the kids are not their emotional support to get them through this, and therapy is significantly better. I told him I didn't approve of them missing extended school time period, and I wasn't giving up my week for it. He tried to state the week he missed should be made up for, but our court order parenting plan states if a parent voluntarily doesn't take their week without an agreed upon makeup period, then the other doesn't need to give up a week in return. I pointed this out to him, and he asked me how I could be so by the book about this. He said human decency would state I should be willing to put aside our differences at a time like this, and that school isn't more important than family. He asked me how I would feel if she can't get through this part of life because of this, and my refusal was part of the reason why. I told him I wouldn't feel anything. I told him they lost all their rights for me to feel something for them when they betrayed me, and I would not be manipulated into agreeing. He's pushing very hard for this and trying to guilt me into agreeing. I know I might be overly harsh in my response to this, so I wanted to ask if people believe I'm wrong or not. Now, before I go into the comment section, I'm going to give you my personal opinion. I think the OP is doing everything by the book, and that's exactly what she needs to do. Her ex just sounds selfish. Okay, first of all, the ex-husband already betrayed her by having an affair with her former best friend. So honestly, like the OP had mentioned, they deserve nothing but being civil in front of the kids. Okay, what goes on between the adults should just remain as an adult. The OP is entitled to her feelings of feeling like nothing toward them and just hates them. Okay, that is her right because she deserves it. She got betrayed by the two closest people to her husband and her best friend. I mean, if I was in OP's position, I would probably feel the same way too. So they do not deserve anything but just civility. That's it. Now, the fact that the OP's ex-husband and the best friend is, expecting support, well, more like emotional support during their difficult time, no, I don't think so. And again, trying to use the kids as emotional support, they're kids. They're not support animals, okay? And like the OP had mentioned, therapy would be much more, worthwhile than using kids. The kids are just going to be a band-aid. It's probably just a reminder to the former best friend saying, oh, this could have been my life. This could have been me. It could have made it worse. It doesn't resolve any of her issues or whatever she's going through. And seriously, the OP's former best friend really needs to go seek a therapy instead of trying to find ways to go around it. And the fact that the ex-husband is asking for so much time off and saying that family is more important than school, in general, depending on the situation. In this situation, I don't think so. The kids need stability. The kids need to be in school and need to be in a good routine. So taking them out of school for a so-called family medical reason, in this case, I don't really believe so. It's just the OP's ex-husband who's just trying to make his now current wife, aka former OP's BFFs, feel better. Okay, I get that. His intention is good because he wants to support his current wife. I get it. But this is not the way to do it. The way to give support to your current wife is to seek therapy or find a therapist or find basically a grown-up to help with the situation. And OP has the right to reserve to her own parenting time. It's not fair for the ex to choose and pick and choose his time and say, oh, well, when it's convenient for me, then I'm going to take the kids. I don't think so. There's a reason why you are following the court order. There's a reason why the court says, hey, this is stated here. If a parent voluntarily gives up their own time and doesn't tell the other parent a potential makeup time, they have the right to not give up their time. And that's exactly what OP is doing. She's following the court order. And she's also trying to maintain a routine for their kids. Her kids are still in therapy through this divorce thing, with this living adjustment too. So, just all of a sudden OP's ex-husband wants to take them away for basically 3 weeks out of school, out of, their routine. Yeah, that's not a great idea. Not only are you dragging your current wife through an emotional turmoil, then your kids are going to be affected by it too. I don't know what OP's ex-husband is really thinking. But anyways, let's see what the comment section have to say. First commenter says, not the a-hole. Your kids are not your cheating ex-wife's emotional support animals. He can go get a dog. Dog loves you even if you're a complete a-hole. You don't pull kids out of school just to make yourself feel better. That is completely inappropriate. And I completely agree to this. OP does respond by saying, I agree. He sounds like he would keep them out for 3 weeks, if not for less than that. It's a lot of school to miss, and not a very good reason in my opinion. Completely agree. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. Your primary concern is your children's well-being, including their education and stability. I think it's reasonable to prioritize their needs over your ex and his wife's emotional challenges. Your boundaries are clear and you're following what the court ordered. Exactly. OP responds by saying, "Thank you. I know right now my ex is more worried about his wife and the emotional side of things, but that's not a burden to be placed on our children and not at the expense of their education. One child already has challenges with school, and adding to those is not something I would want to do on top of other reasons." Good point. Good job, OP. I support you 100%. You're doing the right thing. Anyways, do you guys have any advice for this OP? And what do you guys think of this whole situation? Leave it in the comment section because I would love to see what you guys think. And remember, if you like these types of stories, to continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.